Loud. Alrighty, hello everybody. Hello my live guests and my future guests on the World Wide Web, cyberspace, aka YouTube. We are here today on the 9th of June to discuss the astrological weather of this moment, both the background noise, background radiation of the slow moving planets, which are loud right now, and the momentary peaks and troughs and high notes of the song that are the slower moving planets, in particular the Sagittarius Full Moon that is happening for all intents and purposes tomorrow on Tuesday, though technically on the East Coast it's at 3:43 a.m. Wednesday morning. So we're really going to feel this energy culminating on Tuesday night on the East Coast of the United States. And wherever you are, you can adjust your time zone, and figure out when exactly that full moon will be. But we're talking Tuesday the 10th, Wednesday the 11th is when that energy is going to be the loudest. So I wanted to start off talking about, I wonder if the Zoom recording has my full face, because I just see Amber's screen and it's black. Okay, I'm just going to trust that this is good. Actually, let's do a screen share and bring up the charts. Let's do that. Where are the charts? I mean, not the charts. Where is the screen share? It's like every time I get on Zoom, it's different. There we go. It's the bright green button. Okay, here we go. So this is my Canva slideshow. Whoops. Mercury is not even retrograde. Here we go. Present. Present. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to start with right now. Dadgummit. Sorry, y'all. My current people and the people who are live, because my tech is just challenging me. Hide. I'm going to hide you guys. Okay, here we go for the recording. You're not showing your faces anyway. All right. What is the field? What is the current field that this full moon is lighting up, is entering into? So we're in a long-term experience of the outer planets dance right now in the 2020s, which is loud and strong and actually quite harmonious. There's a forceful quality to it. There's an irrepressible, unstoppable, I will have my way quality to it that feels intense, that feels challenging, but the configurations themselves are harmonious. So what we have is a trine and two sextiles between Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus that lasts through to the end of the decade. Now, in this moment in time, it's not just Neptune who is in the middle of the trine. It's Neptune and Saturn, which are kind of doing a big thing. So this is really kicking off this expression of the outer planets. So it's part of the signature of the rest of the 2020s, although Saturn will move on. So the chart that we're looking at right now is the chart of the beginning of this class, which was 6 o'clock. And I really wanted to bring this up in this class because what we're actually going to start with is a bit of a meditation. Now, the people who are doing this live with me, this is not like a super deep meditation. This is more like just tuning into the energy, and we're going to have some quietness to do that. And so if you're on a treadmill or driving in your car, say, it's okay. You can still tune into this energy, just do so safely. Um, don't go into an altered state, please. I take no responsibility for such actions. But check this out. So the class tonight started at 6 o'clock. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. We have Scorpio rising. So this is a Mars ruled moment. So this is a Martian energy that we're in right now, those of us who are in the class live. And then, but note, Jupiter right here, 0 degrees of Cancer and 0 minutes, which means Jupiter just moved into Cancer. How long ago did Jupiter move into Cancer, you ask? Let's see if this tech works. Okay, 5:02 p.m. So 58 minutes before the class started, Jupiter moves into Cancer. So this energy shift is loud and quite lovely and very, very fresh. And I want to feel into it right now. I'm going to take a moment to describe it, and then we're going to take some silence, not a long time, like 1 minute. In fact, I will set a timer for 1 minute. We're going to take 1 minute of silence and tune into the way this feels, because this is our saving grace for 2025. 2025 is a hard year. The 2020s are a hard decade. Now, difficult things are also exquisitely beautiful. Personally, I am super into it. I suggest you do the same, because the only way out is through. So adjusting our perception of it is really the necessary approach. And Jupiter in Cancer helps us do that. Why? Because Jupiter is the great benefic. Jupiter brings good luck. Jupiter expands things. Jupiter makes you feel optimistic. Jupiter creates optimism. Literally, where there's pessimism, Jupiter walks into the room and everyone just feels this breath of optimism. Things just feel good. Things feel relaxed. You get higher perspective and higher vision, right? Jupiter rules Sagittarius. It's the ninth house. It's the temple. This is where we go to connect with what is larger than us. Think about the beauty and the hushed, expansive silence of those gorgeous stained glass cathedrals in Europe, and mosques, holy temples, holy places. Those quiet places where you can really get a sense of your smallness in the context of great cosmic symmetry. This is what Jupiter brings, and it's experiential. We don't have to work for this. So Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, which means Jupiter's not in its home sign, which is Pisces and Sagittarius, but Jupiter is an honored guest. It's like Jupiter is royalty. But in a planet's home sign, they have work to do. Like, they also have responsibility. But when they're in the sign of their exaltation, it's like they don't have the responsibility, but they have all of the power, all of the ease, all of the access to the energy that they bring. And it's just coming forth easily. Like, they don't have to do work. So they just like show up and bring the goods. Now, Mars brings the goods too, but Mars brings Mars good. Mars is goods. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Jupiter bringing the goods. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, able to bring the goods with zero restraints. And what is Cancer? Cancer is ruled by the moon. Cancer is the cardinal water sign. Cancer is the epitome of our emotions. It's the seat of our emotions. It's how we feel. It's our mood. It's the moon. She's the moon. She changes moment to moment to moment. So when we have this quality of expansiveness and good feelings and good luck and larger perspective that feels hopeful and beautiful and symmetrical, patterned, in the place of our emotions, it's a good day. It's a good year. This is a year-long transit. Jupiter's going to be in Cancer for a year. This is so good to be placed in the middle of 2025. This is like there must be a God who put Jupiter in Cancer in 2025 on planet Earth. It's a good thing. So We're also going to talk about the dark side of it all, but let's tune into the sweet side of it. So I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute. I'm going to close my eyes just so I can focus. Don't close your eyes if you're driving, please. And we're just going to tune into 1 minute timer. Thank you. We're just going to tune into this good feeling. And when I say tune into it, try to feel into the quality change, the tone change in the air that has happened over the past hour and a half. So 2 hours ago, this wasn't the case. This is brand new. And a lot of times when a planet first goes into a sign, you get this rush of perception of that in the beginning. Okay, so here we go. 1 minute. And take a deep breath. Feel the bottom of your feet. Take another deep breath. And just feel. Wow. That 1 minute went by fast because I was feeling it. Y'all, were you feeling it? Does anybody want to hop on and just say like yay or nay? Were you feeling it? Did you feel it? Okay. My peeps are shy. It's okay. I will say what I felt in my body. I felt this sensation like I didn't want that 1 minute to be over, even though I'm teaching a class right now, recording it to put on the internet, to put on the interwebs. But like I felt this chi sensation of like expand, like it was expanding my heart field. Like I felt my heart, just like good feelings in my chest. Chi, what chi feels like, if you're not used to tuning into what your chi feels like, it's just like if you get a massage or if you take a shot of espresso, um, or if you have sex and you have an orgasm, or if you like you go for a run and then when the run is over and you stop and you start relaxing, like this blood flow comes, this blood flow, fresh energy. It's like literally the blood is carrying the chi, and wherever you're feeling that like just like good feeling in your body, that is chi. So I was feeling it right here in my chest. This is something to tune into with Jupiter in Cancer. All right, so we've tuned into the good vibes. Now let's talk a little bit about the difficult vibes. There are some difficult vibes right now, and I'm going to use some keywords that have been coming through in my experience and also in connection with my beloveds about their experiences and our cross-referencing. And one of my beloveds on the call right now, crediting her with this word. I was using a different word, and her word is way more specific. And that word is distortion. We're in such a loud distortion field right now. And I want to parse this out. I'm going to parse this out and talk about what has preceded it this year, what has led up to it, January, February, especially March, April, May. Now we're in June. And where we are in the context of this year and where we are in the larger context of the outer planets. So the word that I was using was delusion. Another good D word for who. If my class members were present, I told them not to talk. I did. I'm still figuring this out. But I'd be like, okay, who are we talking about when we're talking about distortion, deception, fantasy, illusion, delusion? Who are we talking about? There's only one culprit. Actually, there's two, and the other one has been named. but that one is like the sidekick. We are talking about Neptune. We're talking about Neptune. Sidekick is Jupiter. Um, Jupiter is just so very benefic. Jupiter has this side, but Neptune has this side in spades. We just went through, okay, so 2011, Neptune went into Pisces, and we're in 2025. So we just went through 14 years of Neptune in its home sign, which is a place of magic, beauty, art, spirituality, connection with the divine, actually being able to feel the divine. Think about the explosion since 2011 in the mystical arts, in the spiritual arts on this planet, in this culture. That's Neptune and Pisces. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. I have 20,000 billion placements in Pisces. I love Pisces, love Neptune. It's a very beautiful thing. It has a dark side. So the dark side is distortion. Neptune is not limited by whether a thing is true or false. And that's very important for Neptune to be able to function as the imagination engine, as the imagination principle, because imagination needs to have no limits in order to bring us into what is possible so we can create a better world, among other things, so we can create great art. The imagination has to be set free. But the problem that comes with that is when you have a situation where there is truth and there is error and Neptune's involved, then things get really cloudy and confused. Um, so we just came off of that really long Neptune and Pisces binge, and it went out with a bang. So if anybody here was alive through March and April of 2025, what that was Neptune leaving Pisces with style in her full expression, in all of his glory. Wild times, wild, wild times. There was a lot of beauty. There was a lot of truth. There was a lot of distortion. It was all mixed up in one big bag. Now Neptune has moved into Aries, and whatever we experienced and whatever conclusions we came to with Neptune in Pisces, Neptune moves into Aries, and now we're ready to go to battle for them. So that tone shift does not happen in a vacuum. We're not just in Neptune and Aries now, and Neptune and Pisces never happened. Neptune and Pisces happened, and now we're Neptune and Aries about it. So everybody's distortions are coming up. All of these like twisted, really incorrect things that we feel and think and believe are just up, as well as the magic. The magic is up. The beauty is up. The wonder is up. The truth of what is unfolding and what is happening is up. So I think to zoom out. So now we're pretty zoomed out. We're not even talking about the full moon yet. But to zoom out even further from the 2020s and from this talk of the slow moving low notes of the outer planets, if we zoom out even further, we are in a moment of time where the collective, humanity, as a single organism, is waking up. We're waking up from a long, long dream. And we're remembering who we are. And it's been happening for quite some time. It's been happening for my whole life. And right now, in this moment, the level of quickening is it's staggering. It's staggering. I'm gonna tell y'all an experience that I'm having. I'm curious if anybody relates to this. Wherein I am in the presence of muggles, whether it be family members, strangers, people at the grocery store, just acquaintances. I'm in the presence of people who really cannot tell this year from last year, um, or this decade from last decade, or like think anything special is going on whatsoever. And I'll be in their presence, and I'm so saturated in the aliveness and the awakeness of right now that it's this experience of them coming into my presence. But I don't think it's just me. I think they're experiencing this, but when they come into the presence of people who are conscious of it, it heightens. They come into my presence, and like I can see in their eyes, they're like, it's like this wide-eyedness. It's like this recognition of something is happening. It's like when you've taken a substance and it hasn't hit yet, but you're just starting to feel it. It's like that sense. Like I'm looking at them and I'm like, oh, they're about to be really high, but they're not yet. They feel it coming on, and I can see them feeling it. Like I can see the recognition dawning on their face. And we're all, that's what's happening to all of us. You know, I may feel like the recognition is dawning on my face like more quickly, like I'm more aware than this person next to me, but I'm just like that much more aware, you know. When we come into the fullness of the awareness of the remembering that we are headed into, like that's why it's happening at the pace that it's happening, which is breakneck speed and also slow enough that we don't lose our minds. um so that's what's going on. We are waking up, we are remembering who we are. That process is intrinsically frightening, and so we're throwing up all of these distortions so that we can like still cuddle up to our illusions that make us feel safe. But those illusions that make us feel safe are the same principalities and powers, energies, inaccuracies that are making us suffer, that are holding us in pain and in bondage. So we're in this artful moment of spirit, just like ever so artfully back and forth, like easing back and forth between, like, okay, like giving us a little bit of vision, opening our vision. This is Jupiter, this is Neptune, opening our vision, opening our vision. But like, it's the same energy that's like we can tune into and create a distortion. So how do we work with this? There was a sentence that I came to as I was writing this, and like to me, this is the nutshell. Like this is the nutshell. Like how do we work with this energy right now? And then we're going to go into the talk about the full moon. The nutshell is gaze into the mirror of the other. Check yourself in the mirror of the other often. So it's nearly impossible to see our own distortions. It is very, very, very easy to see other people's distortions. And this is by design because we're meant to be together in this. We are not meant to do this thing alone. And we are recovering from a really long stint of isolation. And that was part of the plan. That was part of the plan. It was part of our evolution for us to come into this individuation of who I am without the other. And additionally, we are one. The other is me. I am you and you are me, and we are all together. We've known this since the Beatles sang it in the 60s. That was the Beatles, right? Um, so now this can happen like on varying levels of cooperation. So you could be in a really, really healthy this is seventh house relationship that I'm talking about right now. Now, this is definitely partnerships and romantic relationships, but it's also any relationship that is close and intimate enough that that person is a mirror to you. When you see your bullshit in the mirror that they are presenting, that is a seventh house relationship. So let me just say that when you see their bullshit, you're seeing your bullshit. If you see their bullshit and you don't have an emotional reaction to it, then you're probably all right. But if you see their bullshit and it gets under your skin and it's driving you crazy, like, you're projecting. That's projections are like the best thing ever. Once you know how to interact with a projection, how to work with a projection, they are gifts. They're gifts from the gods. They're gifts from your compatriots. If someone is throwing up a distortion and it's making you crazy, guaranteed that you have a distortion that matches it. And then when you can see that and accept it and just get humble, get shriven, then you have something to work with. Then you can recover. Then you can ease up on the suffering. This is the gift that we give each other. So you could be in a really healthy relationship where like this gets talked out. You're like, oh, I'm projecting on you. Oh, okay, let's work with that. Oh, now I'm projecting on you. Oh, okay, let's work with that. But a lot of times they're not healthy relationships, or they're not fully communicative relationships. And you're just seeing someone's bullshit and it's making you crazy. Like, you're not responsible for their bullshit. No, you're not responsible for anybody but yourself. So just know that if it's getting under your skin, then that's X marks the spot for you to dig. Dig deep, people. This is Pluto work. This is Scorpio work. Look, this class, we got a Scorpio rising class. We got a Mars ruled class. That's what it's all about here on Earth. We're all Scorpios here. But yeah, for this work, digging deep, like take every projection as the gift that it is. So let's look at this moon. Okay, so we're on the 9th. Tomorrow is the 10th. Oh, I have the Gemini dark moon here because let me just say a word about this. I'm going to say a word about this and then we'll go to the Sagittarius moon. The reason I brought the Gemini moon in is because we're in the middle of the lunar cycle. So the beginning of the lunar cycle, this is the beginning of the lunar cycle that we are now in the middle of. The beginning of the lunar cycle that we are now in the middle of happened on May the 26th. And the sun and the moon were together. It was a dark moon in Gemini with Jupiter and Mercury, and that's Sedna. It's another story for another day. So this is the beginning of the Gemini lunations. Now we're in the second. No, wrong. Yeah, right. Now we're in the second lunation of Gemini season, which is the full moon in Sagittarius. So, okay, here we go. Full moon in Sagittarius. So sun is still in Gemini, full moon is in Sagittarius. And so back to the yummy energy. Back to the yummy energy. We have this challenging distortion field that we're working with. 2025 is hard. 2025 is a gut punch. We're all recovering this Gemini season. So this Gemini season is so yummy. Now, it's energetic. It's pretty loud. There are still 2025-ish things happening like this, Saturn and Neptune together in Aries. Classic 2025. It's like, oh, you think you're gonna just have some nice Jupiter in Cancer, Venus in Taurus. Well, yeah, you can have that, but it's with a side of Saturn and Neptune and Aries, so you get a mixed bag. 2025 is a mixed bag. But this is when we get the sprinkling of the goods, the sprinkling of the goods that's going to get us through 2025. So take advantage of this time, and I'm calling it for the rest of June. Now we still have some challenging aspects happening in June. We have some challenging squares that are happening a few days after this full moon, but they're 2025. Just like, but in this moment, we're just going to tune into the yumminess, and I'm going to talk about how we can work with this, because this is a full moon to work with. Now, I generally will suggest, and for myself, do the same. that during illumination, it's about going internal and listening and being quiet and feeling the energy and allowing. I don't do a lot of moon magic personally, unless I really feel like, okay, this one's useful and I'm going to do something with it specifically, but that's not my general approach to the moons. This is a useful moon. This is a magical moon. You can work with this moon. If there is, so here are some examples. Certainly if there's like something you want to launch, something that you want to begin in 2025, June is a good time to look at for beginning it. If you want to look more specifically at dates, we can do a personal reading and look more specifically at some really good dates. But June is a good time to launch something. What I'm going to say even more so, look at this. So look how close Mercury is to this yummy, yummy Jupiter. A lot has gone down this year. And if you need to talk about it, if you need to have difficult conversations with the people in your life, it's a good moment to do it. It's a really good time to do it. The energy feels good. It feels relaxed. It feels harmonious. Mercury is involved in the harmonious energy. Look at this. So we have Venus, the lesser benefic, at home in Taurus, in sextile to Mercury and Jupiter, especially that Mercury. So that's a harmonious relationship. This is half of a trine. And a sextile I've talked so much about because that's what's happening with the outer planets. That energy is really interesting because it's both harmonious and structural. So this is energy you can work with. It's not just flowy like a trine. It doesn't just feel good. You can actually build with it, thinking about the bees and the honeycomb that shape that perfectly perfectly shaped shape, perfectly efficient. That's the word I'm looking for. That perfectly efficient shape that it's called tessellating. When hexagons tessellate, when they multiply, they all fit together perfectly. There's no wasted space, and it's a strong structure. Water does this too. So that's the relationship between these benefics that are in really good placement individually, in a harmonious relationship with each other, and Mercury is involved. So yeah, any hard conversations like around this moon is a good time to do it. And like even starting now and to several days after the moon and into so the challenging squares are coming on the 15th. And that is a Mars square Uranus and a Jupiter square Saturn and Neptune. So if you're going to have important conversations that you want to feel harmonious, I suggest doing them before the 15th, probably even before the 14th. So we're looking at the 11th through the 13th here, or really now through the 13th. 13th is iffy. Like we're probably going to be picking up on that energy on the 13th. And then on the other side of those squares, the rest of June in the context of 2025 is pretty good. So this is what I want. So that's some suggestions for like what you can do with it. I'm going to do a love spell. You can also do some legit magic. Like this is good magic. Next, I'm going to say what for myself and what I want all of you to do. Period. Whatever else you do with it. I want you to take, especially the next few days, but all of June, to take exquisite good care of your vessel. Take exquisite good care of your temple. Take exquisite, luxurious, over the top, loving good care of this body, this animal that you have been entrusted with in this life. This body is here to serve your soul. Your soul created this body. This body serves you. This body is really, really worked over by 2025 and needs some good, good love. I want you to go to the spa, go to the gym, get the massages, spend extra on the super delectable food, go out to eat, go to the water, get in living water, get in the sunshine, take long walks, smell all the flowers, make love every day. Sit and relax and do nothing. Sit in a rocking chair and watch the sun go down or the sun come up in the morning. Sit in the dappled sunlight in the shade of the trees and listen to the birds chirping. Let your vessel relax. It's been a hard year. The rest of the year is going to be hard. The rest of the decade is going to be hard. These are the moments that we have to take advantage of to recharge, to relax, and just like love on ourselves. Hang out with friends, go to the arcade. Take a vacation if you can. If you can, just like, fuck it. Like, block off your calendar. Tomorrow, I'm leaving. I'm going on vacation. This is the time to do it. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to say anything else about all of this right now? Whoops. My computer's about to go to sleep. Let's see. What else do I have? I think I have one more. Sagittarius. Oh, yes. Okay. So this is your living sky homework. So that's your homework to take care of your body. This is your living sky homework. So you can do this tonight. It's going to be even more glorious tomorrow night. This will be the fullest that the moon gets at sunset before full moon, because full moon happens at 3:43 on the 11th. This is 8:26 Eastern time in North Carolina, so adjust for wherever you are. This is sunset. This is a chart of sunset the night before full moon, hours, yay, mere hours before full moon. So we have the sun just dipping below the horizon. This is the descendant. This is the western edge of the world. And at 20 degrees, the descendant, the western edge of the world in this moment is 20 degrees of Gemini. Sun's at 20 degrees of Gemini. Sun has just gone down. Now this is twilight. That's what that looks like, right? Twilight. Depending on the trees, depending on where you live, at this moment, the full moon will be rising in the east. This is the eastern edge of the world. This is where the sun, the moon, and all of the planets rise. And then they move across the sky overhead, here on the midheaven, and then down into the west. So if you can go outside at sunset tonight, if you can't do tomorrow night, do it tonight. If you can do tomorrow night, go outside at sunset and watch the moon rise. And as it gets dark, you will also see, this is Mars, you will also see Mars in the west, setting in the west. We get Mars for a few hours in the west. Jupiter and Mercury are here in the west too, but you're going to be hard pressed to find a spot in the world where you can see them that close to the sun. Doubtful you're going to be able to see them anywhere in the world that close to the sun. So really we're looking at Mars and the full moon. And what I want you to do is, while you watch the full moon rise, feel into this like we did at the beginning. Feel into this Jupiter energy that is so fresh and alive right now that we get to carry with us for a year. So the best of it is June, because we've got this yummy Venus here too. But Jupiter is in Cancer for a year. Yay! Thank you, God. Thank you, Jupiter. Thank you, Zeus. Jupiter's in Cancer for a year. So like, feel it, get a feel for it so that you can call on it when you need it. Because it's going to be here for us for a year. And yeah, tuning into it in this moment of this Jupiter ruled moon, when the energy is this loud, is going to make an imprint. It's going to make an imprint in your body. This is how we feel the astrology in our bodies. And then that's when we can really understand it. Once we feel it in our bodies, then we come and look at all of this technical stuff that's so confusing and heady. and we can still like check in and drop down and like, oh yeah, I remember that chi in my heart space. I remember that. Like, okay, and tune back into that. So that's it. That is the word on the street, the word of the moment, the word of this delicious, gorgeous, so expansive and fortunate that I'm so grateful for this full moon. I hope you all enjoy it. And for those of you who have watched this on YouTube until the end, please come join my my tribe. And because we're gonna keep talking. We're gonna go and look at our personal charts and take questions, Q&A, and connect about how this feels and how this is playing out in our lives. But that's all secret. You guys don't get to watch that. But if you want to come be a part of it, please do. The link will be in the show notes. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you all gigantic Jupiterian hugs and kisses. Mwah. Thank you. I can stop the recording.